I've been asked numerous times how I do my makeup, so today I thought I would show you my everyday makeup routine, including my makeup bag, which is nothing fancy, and I actually don't like to cart around too much makeup with me, so for me this is a perfect size. So first let's show you what's inside, and I can't remember where I got this from. Well, there's a tag here. E.l.f. is the brand. And I think it's because I was stuck in Minneapolis and I didn't have any makeup brushes, and so this was something that I picked up. I have always my little mirror, and the first thing that I like to do is apply my eyelash glue directly to that so that it gets nice and tacky. And this is an eyelash glue from Envy by Kiss, but I typically use Duo, but for whatever reason I couldn't find Dark Tone Duo, and that's how I ended up with this one. You can see my makeup bag is a bit of a mess right now because some of my foundations kind of smudge everywhere, but I figure let's be authentic. I also have a paper towel down here because my countertop, I don't want it to stain. So little tip for everybody, you can use a towel or whatever. And I have my eyelashes, but this is what's in my makeup bag. Depending on how I'm getting ready, sometimes I start with doing my hair first, or I start with my makeup. Because I've already done my hair, I'm just gonna clip my hair out of the way. And I like to use a non-marking clip and my ears. And then this is a very crucial step. I take my tweezers. These are little ones from Joe Fresh. They're inexpensive. And I do a once over on my face to see if there's any hair that I need to remove. So checking, you know, ladies down here, sometimes there's some hair. And my eyebrows, sometimes I have hair that like to just stick straight out. So I tend to look at those on a profile and see if there's any that have gone rogue. But I don't like to over tweeze. And I feel like if you just do it daily, a part of your makeup application, there's less to do. And that's it. So then I just like to slip these right back into my makeup bag. Next I use foundation. Right now I'm using a combination of 2 MAC foundations because it's kind of in between season, so I don't know if my skin is gonna be too light or too dark, so I find that I always combine. And so I'm using my MAC Pro Wear foundation. This one is NW13, and I like to just apply 1 pump to my middle finger. And then with the other one, which is the NC25, I apply just another pump sort of on top of. And then I have a very special mixing technique where I actually just mix the product on my face directly in the area where I feel like I need the product. So I'm a little redder on my nose, and so I just kind of mix that up, and then I start to apply down from the center of my face, so my nose, into the area that I need it. So a little bit on the top of my cheek, because I don't like a super makeup look. I think as I've gotten older, I've probably started wearing less and less makeup. And again, this is just my everyday go-to, not special event. And I like to use my hands because that way I don't have to clean out a makeup brush. And I always double check under your nostril because sometimes it doesn't blend in there. And because with my job, I do touch and talk to people a lot, I feel like something that's designed to be matte and to stay on your face, like this Longwear foundation, it just works better for my lifestyle. And then sometimes I look down at my chin because if it's a little red, like it is today, I just do the same thing, but just using a little less. And why I kind of like the 2 is as I start to get a little bit more color on my skin or not, and I want to look more tan, I can just use more of the darker. That's it. That's my foundation concealer application. I never bother with a concealer unless, again, I'm doing something special like going out. So I may have mentioned that I'm not brand specific. Currently, I've been using Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless pressed powder in classic ivory. And I do like to apply my powder with a brush because I feel like then I don't get too much all over me. And I tend to get a little shinier during the day. And so I do like to use powder. So again, I always start sort of on my nose. Now my powder, which is really a powder foundation, it does go everywhere. And then I feel like it just kind of blends and acts as a foundation for the rest of my makeup. After I've applied my powder, I like to then go in with a contour, and this one is my favorite. It's from Charlotte Tilbery. I was introduced to it by a friend, and this is probably the third time that I've repurchased this product. It's probably the most expensive product that I have in my makeup bag. Then I go in with a brush, a new brush, and that's why I do like my little makeup bag, because it has so many compartments for brushes. And now I contour. So I tend to be a little rounder. So I like to apply starting at the base of my ear, which is why I tuck my hair behind my ear. And I open my mouth a little like this so I can find where my cheekbone is. And just the same thing on the other side. And I've learned by looking at pictures over the year that sometimes I put my contour too low, so I tend to just try to keep it up near the top. And then I like to do a little bit just to kind of help draw a little bit more attention to my jawline. So I put a little bit under my jaw, and that's that. And then with the same compact, you have also the highlighter. So then I like to go in with my other brush so I don't mix them up. I just like to apply that sort of starting at the top of my temple, right along my cheekbone. And lately I've been doing a little bit on the top of my forehead, and then I put a tiny bit just on the tip of my chin to, again, just help elongate my face a little bit, or actually just make my face look kind of bigger. And I don't do anything on the nose because I don't like a shiny nose on myself. So for blush, lately I've been using Benefit. This one is their lightest shade, which you can see I've definitely used. And I like this one because it has a little bit of a sparkle. And I use this brush that's circular and round because I feel like it really hits the apple of my cheek. So I smile, and then that way I can just pat it. And I like this blush because I feel like if it's summer, winter, etc., it's just enough color because I'm pretty fair. And I sometimes will carry that up a little higher into my highlight and contour. I do reuse the Charlotte Tilbery, and I actually like to use the highlighter for my eyeshadow because I do like multi-use products because I don't like to have too many things in my makeup bag. And so I find that with the highlight, I can start at the base of my eyelid, and then I just take that all the way up. And I feel like with products that can be multi-use, then it just makes everything faster. I've been using this Subculture lip pencil from MAC forever, and I like to line my lips because otherwise I don't have a really strong, some people have a really big like lip line here and I don't. So I always like to make sure to line that. So I start with my bottom lip first and I pull my lip tight. And I actually underline my bottom lip a little because my bottom lip is bigger than my top lip. And then my top lip, I overline. And when I say overline, I think it's important not to overline. Okay, and then I go in with my lip color. My favorite lip color lately has been this All Day lip color from Maybelline. And I love it because I talk so much, and when you have something all day, you don't have to worry about losing your lipstick. The only thing that can happen is your lips can get a little dry, but it is what it is. Because my lip color and my lip liner are from two different brands and they're not a perfect match, I usually go in a little bit over top of the All Day lip color because I feel like it just helps blend it in. And then I just double check, making sure that if I've missed anywhere, that I just kind of clean it up. All right, so for my brow, I always begin by brushing them downward because where I need to fill in is above. I have a pretty sort of full brow through the bottom, but where I'm missing hair or where I like to create an arch is at the top. Because I'm a blonde, I have found that in the past eyebrow pencils can run a little bit orangey or be too dark. So I like this one, it's Taupe, because I feel like with the Taupe, it better blends in on a blonde. This one I found is from NYX. So I really just kind of focus on filling in, again, just those little bits of hair that I'm missing at the top, and then a little bit along my nose. Why I like this one is because when I turn it around, I can sort of smooth or blend that in with the same tool. And like I said, a big moment for me that I learned about makeup was we don't all need to apply makeup on the same place on our face, which sounds crazy, but I don't have much hair at the top, so I like to fill that in. Some people have more hair there, so they have a tendency to fill it through the bottom. All right, so now I move on to my liquid eyeliner. And I've found over the years that if I don't use anything that's waterproof, it will drop during the day. And so this is a waterproof eyeliner in brown, because I don't like black because it's too dark on me. So I'm gonna put my mirror in nice and close. And also when I'm applying my liner, I only put on the very edge. And my eye naturally comes upward, so I like to just carry that through and have my liner work slightly upward. So doing the same on the other side. Okay, and then perspective, looking to make sure they look the same. Now we're on to my favorite step, which is mascara. The only time I leave the house without mascara on is when I'm going to the gym. And because I have lighter eyelashes, I really feel like when I wear mascara, it makes a huge difference. I don't bother to curl my eyelashes because again, this is my everyday makeup, and I'd like to get out the door in at least 30 minutes. I feel like with mascara, I don't know if I've ever bought a mascara that's expensive, just because I've never seen a difference. Maybe you have a favorite, so feel free to comment below with yours. So then I apply to my bottom eyelashes, and I remember watching my mom put on her mascara when I was a little girl. And I asked her, I was like, why do you turn the wand vertically? And as I got older, I realized that it's just easier to watch how much makeup you're putting on when you just use the tip of the brush. And because I like to really have my eyelashes go from blonde to black, I usually actually apply 2 coats of mascara. Okay, and then last but not least, I always like to use a few individual eyelashes, and I change from brand to brand. But currently these ones are from Kiss, and I already had my glue prepped and ready to go. And for every day, I probably don't bother to put on more than say like 4 eyelashes on either side. And because my glue is nice and tacky, I can apply these pretty quick. But I feel like if I'm gonna be putting on lashes, I have to have my hair dried first. Otherwise, I feel like they get moved around before they're fully dry. Okay, and then again, just looking for balance, making sure everything looks even, which I think it does. So I have a total of 3 individual eyelashes on either side, and remove any little clips. So if you enjoyed this tutorial and you would like to see other makeup looks, please let me know in the comments. So until next time.